Okay, welcome back to the If I'm Being Honest podcast, guys. I'm your host, Dana. It's nice to be back. The title of today's episode is If I'm Being Honest, what even is the meaning of life? On the panel, guys, is a new member. Well, not really new, but they've never been on the panel before. So, Aiden, can you come on and say hello to the people?
Hello. Thank you. Hello.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So this is a well-awaited episode. Not gonna lie, because we've been trying to do this since 2025, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've been trying to do
most
this.
certainly have, and it even shows in the ideas we've drawn up.
Literally. So let's get into the introductions. This really is the homie for real. Like, this really is my good friend.
Yes.
Honestly, funny how we became friends, because literally I had to chase you down one day for this project that we had to do, I think.
Right.
And then after that, it was just history.
What it was signing up for the club, and you needed me to answer a bunch of questions, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it, and then I
didn't do it. You took forever.
Meteor.
But we
Yeah,
was
Meteor.
cool before then too. I don't even remember
Yeah.
how we ended up really being friends. After the club, we really became locked in. Then we went to the Winterfest thing, right? And we really was cool. Then after that, we had a deep conversation, because I know you was going through some things. You had this like midlife crisis, basically.
Yeah.
So do you want to hop into that? Because I know we definitely had this conversation on life and its purpose prior to. So you can get into it whenever you're ready.
I guess I've always kind of struggled on my personal identity and kind of thinking about the future and where I want to be and who I am as a person. And I guess when I met you, we started talking a lot. And I remember you started talking about things like your future and things like that. And I started reflecting on myself. And I thought about it. This is not who I want to be. I'm not really the me I envisioned or the me I used to be or whatever else. So I took a little break. I tried to find things I enjoy. I did. I went out more. I swapped up my life. I got on my comfort zone. Like, there was one time, random, very weird. I don't know why I did this, but I was on my bed and I was like, wow, this spot is so comfortable. So I slept on the floor. I don't know. I thought me being uncomfortable is the key to to me finding myself. I don't know. Don't sleep on the floor. I don't know why I did that. But,
I'm sorry. I know I remember that though, because it was literally this time and you came to me and you was like, honestly, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. Because I was asking you, like, hey, did you fill out the college thing? Did you, what do you want to do, right? And he was like, honestly, like, I don't know, I'm cooked. And I was like, take a step back, detox, you know what I'm saying? Really think about yourself and what you want to do, right? And you took that literally. You ghosted me for like 3 months. It was so bad. No, I'm exaggerating. But it was definitely a minute. It was a minute and you ghosted me. But then you came back and you had this such clear vision of where you wanted to go in life and what type of person you wanted to be. And it really, I could definitely tell that you did a lot of work. And I was so proud of you, because, man, like, have you been on such a long journey on trying to find your purpose? Like, you literally, I remember you telling me that you did so many different things to try and find your career. Didn't you used to want to be a pilot?
Yeah, so when I was super young, my first ever ambition in life, career-wise, was I wanted to be a pilot. And after that, I did a lot of sports, literally every sport. I did football, basketball, tennis, boxing. I was on a swim team for a little bit, tried volleyball, and none of them stuck with me. And then, like, I don't know, I became like sheltered. That's when I started getting into like gaming for real. And I thought about content creation, pro gamer, and then more recently, I guess, coding. But that's more of a hobby now, and I like it. It's also part of when I was on my journey to the Shaolin monks, on my detox. This is another thing I picked up, and now I think I want to be a chef, and I guess that's more I'll elaborate on later on.
Man, I understand. I even talked about it one time, I believe. I think it's my college essay, about how I used to have so many different goals and different things that I said that I wanted to be, but none of them had any backbone. They had no purpose. They had no conviction behind it. And then when I finally landed on what I wanted to do based off of like my own story, that's how I'm so 10 toes down in what I want to do and the path that I want to go. I always say, like, once you get your twinkle moment, chat, and it really is revealed to you your purpose in life, and you figure out your purpose, what you want to do, the type of person you want to be, how you want to pour back and give into the world, right? Once you figure that out, it honestly does change you, because you're so much more driven and you're not just wavering around. And it definitely grounds you, it centers you, it changes your goals, it changes your whole perspective on life. I have a lot more respect for people who do certain things, because it really takes a lot of conviction to do it. You have to really believe in what you're doing. Whether you want to be a doctor and you truly want to give back and help people, whether you want to be a lawyer and help people that way, whether you want to, I don't know, be a construction guy and make homes for people, however you feel convicted to give back into the world. Once you find that, it truly does change you. So I guess you can go into a little deeper, like your connection with being a chef and why you want to do that.
Yeah, what you said, it really does ground you because to really find out what you want to do and what you commit yourself to, you have to know yourself. You have to find connection to that thing. Like people who want to work for just money, they're good. We're probably going to be good with numbers, or they're going to be, I don't know, a financier or financial advisor, things like that. But for me, I guess I always struggled with my weight, and it was a hard time for me. It's, my weight's always been a reflection of myself and how I look. I used to be super chubby as a jit, I guess. I used to be super active, and I realized it was because of how I was eating. Of course, I was young and I didn't really care what I ate, just kind of ate everything. And while I'm eating everything, I just didn't feel good. I tried making my own food. It didn't really work at all. My grandma tried to show me how to make some fruit things, like breakfast and some sandwiches she'll make for me. And I really liked that. I enjoyed it. And being able to control what I'm eating and not have to scavenge through whatever's in the fridge, or eating, I don't know, like 3 bowls of cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's what I want. And I want my food to be able to help other people as well. It's not just about cooking good meals. It's about taking care of yourself and also enjoying it, you know? Like it's a process when I really want to indulge in. And now I've lost weight, you know, even now I'm like, not to brag, but I'm like, oh, you know,
T
body
for
T,
real. It is
body
T.
you know,
Clock.
body T, yes.
Clock.
And I will say a big part of it is because I've been taking advantage of knowing some recipes and knowing what to cook. And I want the happiness I felt to be spread through my food. And I want that food to be a reminder to myself and a beacon of hope for others.
Man, that's beautiful. Then that could have been the whole episode, but nah. Let's jump into the main talking point. What do you think is the meaning of life?
Wow, that's a pretty easy question you've just dumped on me there. If I had to say the meaning of life is, it's to experience life. It's to be sad, be angry, be happy. It's to laugh, cry. It's a journey. It's to feel emotions. It's to be grounded to life. It's to make your own journey, to live your life the way you want to, as if you're playing a game and you're making a character and you make that character into your own idea, like your own idea. You just do it. You want to be an astronaut or something, I guess you just be an astronaut. You go to space, whatever. It's just like whatever you want to do, you do it. You live the life based on your idea. You experience hardship. You overcome said hardship. You make the experience your own. And I guess that would be the meaning of life for me. To experience what the earth gives and what life has to offer.
I'm gonna read your quote that I have from you. guys. The great philosopher Aiden Briggs. Born as human, we each are a blank slate, tossed into a world to fill us with color and bring us life. The question we ask is cultivated by the experience we meet and the people we meet, to love, hate, stress, cry, fear. Those human parts of us experiencing the phenomenon known as living in a simple form. To make each breath of air you take your own, finding all that this world has to offer and what is being offered means to us. The meaning of life is to accept, care, hunger, and explore. All that you feel is a part of life itself. I deem that a worthy answer of the meaning of life. So, drop the mic. That was your very intellectual quote. And when I tell you, he is such an intellectual being, y'all. Guys, if y'all in school with him, y'all have class with him, hit him up, talk to me, really cool, for real. But he's just a deep and intellectual individual. You just be in deep thought over literally just anything. There's been many times where, like, you'll be like, I was staring at paint dry and I had a natural phenomenon. Like, literally, whatever it is, you literally is just, you find deep meaning in everything. That's why I wanted you on the panel so bad. And I'm so glad we finally did this episode, even though it's been so long. But I'm gonna let you take us into our next question.
Right, yeah. So to you, what's the difference between being alive and just living? And is one worse than the other?
I think living is going through the motions. I think living is things that come up that you can't control. But I feel like being alive is the rush that comes from taking the wheel. And I think that's the difference. You know what I mean? When you're coasting and you just riding a wave, whatever life brings you, you know what I'm saying? That's living, you know? But being alive has action to it. You know what I mean? And no, I don't think one is worse than the other. Some people coast through life completely. They have it easy. And some people have it naturally hard, but they still just take it as it comes and they roll with the punches. But I don't think that just because you're not taking the pen over to write your story, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think going with the flow and whatever life has for you, and you know, God, whatever that presents and brings to you, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. You can still definitely be successful in your purpose just by going with the flow. And I feel like it's a essential part, especially now as we are young, like just going with the flow, you know what I mean? And just honestly, like whatever experiences come in front of you and you learn from them and you take from it what you need to take, that's part of life, you know? And there's gonna be things that happen and there's gonna be things that are gonna be difficult, but I feel like you said, it's a part of the human experience, you know. I feel like a life without pain isn't actually life, because you can learn from that. Every lesson that I've ever learned came from pain, you know what I'm saying? Even the good stuff. And so it's just like, as much as we be like, oh, you don't have to touch the stove to know this hot, you don't, but you never understand the concept of heat until you actually get burned. With that, certain things you do honestly have to go through it in order to understand and experience. And when you come on the other side of it and you don't let those things break you, I mean, it honestly truly does change meaning for you, you know, and how you look at things. I don't know, that's the difference, you know. Just because you have breath in your lungs doesn't make you alive. Or does it? I don't know. Let's talk about that. There's this big thing about how people, you know, have life in their hands, and like a loved one or whatever, or somebody older, they're on life support or things like that, and it's like they don't want to see them suffer because they don't think that they're actually living, they're just alive. What's your thoughts on that?
So this would be an example, would be, like you said, a older family member, let's say on life support, and they're there every day, not really doing much, not much movement, just, like you said, going through the motions. And the question comes, is it time to pull the plug or to let nature take its course? And I feel that's what the question asks you, being alive or living, comes into play at its most like extreme form. And yeah, that's like a big example on what you said, breath in your lungs, but you're not really living. And I feel like this is a duality of a lot of people can see. It's like similar to the trolley problem, I guess, and when it means like what it actually means to think about this question and what would you do?
The trolley problem, as in like the save one person's life or sacrifice 30, that one?
Yeah, just like, not like similar to the actual example, but similar in a way of like it challenges your thinking on,
yeah,
like what's the humane,
the value of one person's life, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Man, that's a hard question. Like, that's why I feel like I'll just go ahead and answer this question so you don't have to ask it. But I feel like, to me, living, I feel like if I'm not actually living, if I'm not walking in my morals, like, I feel like that's, for me, as long as I'm aligned within myself and, you know, aligned in the things and the higher purpose, helping somebody else, becoming the best I can to help somebody else, you know what I mean, standing on my principles, even if that means standing alone. I feel like as long as I'm doing that, I'm living. But if I'm out here prospering, I'm rich, I got this going on, like I'm partying every day, but I'm compromising myself, to me that's not actually living. To me, you know, I feel like I wouldn't feel satisfied inside if at the end of it all I compromised myself in order to just have fun. But that's just me though.
I guess to each their own, but I do want to hear your take on it. So I want to put you in the shoes of someone, like what we said, like someone on life support, and it's your family that has to make the choice. What would you want to happen to you? I know it's a little morbid and probably,
yeah,
you know, not the ideal situation, but what would you want the outcome to be? Let's say you live your life to the fullest, you feel fulfilled, you succeeded in everything, and unfortunately the circumstances end up there.
I feel like I would want my family to value the breath that's left. Like, I feel like life isn't mine to take or theirs to take. I feel like for me and my values, if there's breath in my lungs, I feel like keep me alive. Me personally, you know, even though I understand how people be like, oh yeah, they live their life, let them go, they're not in pain, but like, I don't know, that's a tough moral dilemma. Like, I really don't know, and hopefully, prayerfully, I don't ever go through that, but I don't know, chat. But let's induce y'all midlife crisis. Would y'all pull the plug? And if so, under what circumstance? That's gonna be one activity for today. And then in the other activity, you can pick one or do both. In one sentence, what is the meaning of life to you guys? So that's for the audience. So the first question is, would you pull the plug, and under what circumstances, if yes? In question 2, in one sentence, what is the meaning of life to you? So you can answer one or you can answer both. Meanwhile, our activity, because we did just answer these, me and Aiden, we're gonna discuss, are you living your life to its purpose? And if not, what could you do differently? So how do you feel? You feel like you're fulfilling your purpose?
Currently, if I'm being honest, probably not what I would say to its purpose. Like, for me, its purpose is, like I said, to be a chef. And currently, I'm on the journey, and I'm taking the steps, but fulfilling my purpose just yet, not so much, but I'm on the way, you know. And I guess that in my shoes, I think that's what matters the most to me. So honestly, yeah, I am. I'm with my friends, I'm enjoying my life, I'm taking care of those I need to take care of, I'm doing my responsibilities. I'm a student still, so, you know, I'm doing what I need to be done to take steps in my future plans. I'm happy, you know. And even if I wasn't happy, doesn't mean I'm not, you know, living my life to its purpose. But yeah, overall, I think I am. Yeah.
And I love that for you. I love that for you. I truly do. Especially to see you come from where you had no, not you thought you had no purpose, because everybody always has a purpose, but
Yeah,
when you didn't recognize your purpose, to see you go from that to somewhere you're so aligned and passionate in what you want to do, love that for you.
How about you, Donna?
Me, I think, man, I'm the type, if you know me, if you know anything about me, guys, I'm always the type to downplay my achievements and like always want more and always do better, or always think I could be a better person, or, you know, all this type of things. So, you know, that part of me wants to be like, nah, I'm nowhere close to reaching my full potential. But I will say that I did a lot of work to get where I am, and I think that I'm definitely, like you said, I'm on track to fill out my purpose. And as long as I continue to believe in the purpose and I don't deviate from it because it get hard, I feel like I'll be working towards it, you know. Yeah, I feel content, you know. And hopefully,
sorry, I'm just going to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
When the question, what is your purpose, comes up, I feel like it doesn't have to be like very specific either. It could be super broad and it doesn't have to just be one thing. If, let's say, every day you have a different purpose and, like, I don't know, make someone at random laugh, or compliment someone's shoes, or like, I don't know, just it could be anything. It doesn't have to be super ambitious. It doesn't have to be super strong-minded or like willed. It doesn't have to be 10 years in the future. It doesn't, you know, because like when you said your full potential, I mean, to reach your full potential, it takes time. You can't just like fast forward 30 years in the future.
Right.
You know, like, you gotta live in the moment. And obviously I'm not you, but you've definitely filled your purpose. Well, not filled your purpose, but you've helped me a extraordinary amount, and I can't even begin to comprehend on how that happened to me.
Oh my gosh.
If one goal on the bucket list was to help someone out, you've definitely fulfilled that purpose.
Thank you. That just touched my heart. As we bring it up to a close, guys, let's lighten it up. Since we talk about food and you want to be a chef, what do you want your last meal to be? If you could cook it and you could have this big meal, what you want it to be?
Ooh. I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm talking, go back to the good old days where kings and monarchs, I'm talking
crazy.
Full dining hall level table of just every single fast food, every single like cheat meal, every single like, I'm talking not even just cheat meals. Like, I want surf and turf, I want Popeyes, I want lobster mac and cheese. I'm a big seafood guy. So, okay, you know what? No, I'm rambling. If I had to pick one meal, it would be my grandma's eggs, bacon, and pancakes. There's no place like home. And when it comes to food, that right there that's home base.
Dude, I can't pick one. I'm gonna need me a little bit of Mexican. I'm gonna need me a little bit of Chinese. I'm gonna need me some soul food. I'm gonna just, I'm so big. I'm gonna need some dessert. I'm gonna just need it all. But oh my gosh, don't even get me started.
I'm gonna need one though. I need one meal you had to, like, gun to your head, you had to.
One meal. Oh my god. I don't want to say anything stereotypical.
Hey, I'm no judgment-free zone, probably.
Bro, okay, I would probably go salmon, mac and cheese, and cornbread with some collard greens on the side. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I just put that together.
You chose soul food, huh?
Yes, I had to. But no, I couldn't go fried chicken. I can't eat fried chicken for the last meal of my life. Salmon, I'm addicted to salmon, chat. I'm addicted. And then dessert, chat. If it's one dessert that I love, it would either be ice cream, cookie dough ice cream, or cheesecake. Cheesecake with the graham cracker crust, the caramel drizzle,
oh my god! Wow, that is so
big backed. I know.
So big.
Stop. Oh my god.
Yo,
Y'all are
that's
actually big as
insane.
tragic. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
when it comes to dessert, yo, honestly, I might have to go simple and just say some Pop Tarts, some blueberry Pop Tarts.
Stop.
'Cause
That's not the no Pop Tart. You gotta get the cinnamon or the strawberry. What is blueberry?
No, listen, if I already got the home based grandma's dessert, gotta have the Pop Tarts. The Pop Tarts. Oh, I'm scavenging through I'm in 3 a.m. Scavenging through the fridge, nothing there. Looking in the cabinet, nothing there. One last pack of Pop Tarts. Crack it open. My God, that just sounds like home to me, you know?
Okay.
And got to.
We're gonna wrap the episode before you salivate all over everything. Let me go ahead and read some of these comments. Our audience answer the question. 1, has to be drastic circumstances. No, I wouldn't pull the plug out of respect. I'd never tell them or let them pull the plug. Each one of our lives are a story, not a sport where athletes can fall out of their prime. Okay, these are deep. I like this. Question number 2. I have 2. You will only live once and don't take everything to heart. Okay. To experience things good and bad and to use those experiences to learn and grow and offer the most you can to the world. That's beautiful. The meaning of life is to affect someone else's life, whether to put a smile or to hurt someone. It's what creates society and each person. Controversial, of course. I wouldn't expect anything less from that person. But marshmallow Pop Tart, please. Okay, stop. I'm gonna wrap this up before I get hungry. I'm gonna go eat some food after this. But thank you so much for joining me, Aiden. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me.
No.
It's genuinely a blast. I've been looking forward to this all week.
It's gonna be more episodes on here, guys. I'm finally getting my males on the podcast chat because one thing we love is an educated, intellectual black male. Thank you, Clock. But I'm getting into the bag to where we can do that, and there's definitely certain conversations, certain episodes that I might revisit with the male perspective. So thank you guys for listening, as always, until the end. And remember that everything you need is in your DNA.